Today, it's too bad. All right, Shalom Israel. We'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, the wonders to the apostles and the elders of great millstone, and Shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. I just wanted to go in the spirit with a quick topic. They shall be had in derision. Pretty much getting into these last days in which we're currently in. In which Esau is about to trick the masses of the people, into this RFID chip, man. And actually making them think that it's beneficial to them, to their lives. And we see constantly how Esau keep pushing this technology. Every little bit of technology that Jake get, they're like, ooh, good, all googly eyed. So that's the same way how it's going to be with the chip. But they don't know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is ultimately setting them up for their death and their destruction.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. We start at verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
Right, feed you with, take away certain of you, feed you with things. Read that one more time, sorry.
It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
Right, feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. You know what I'm saying? They're going to feed you being idle because you're not aware of the things that's going on. And the things that is offered unto idols, that's the mark of the beast, man. That's you offering yourself up. When you take that mark of the beast, that's when you offer yourself up to Satan himself. That's when you sell your soul. This is how these musicians, they do it on a different level. You know what I'm saying? Doing their sacrifices and things like that. But it's going to come to the point, but this is going to be the new way to sell your soul, man. You know what I'm saying? Pretty set for how everything is going to happen. And we see things falling into place. So it's time for you people up there to wake up, man. We got to get up out of here, man. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we need the rest of the elect, and a 1/3 to wake up, man.
That's right, because if you don't know what the chip is, or what the mark of the beast being the chip is, then and if you don't know the judgment if you take it, you don't know not to take it. So that's why you got guys like Nate and the IUIC set up that's teaching contrary to what the mark of the beast is, as well as ISUPK, as well as Sabbat. These guys are set up as clear as day, because why? They're not teaching the truth, as far as that mark, and that's one of the major prophecies that we're currently living in, because it's here in the States that we're currently living in, and they're not giving you the truth of. But verse.
I got this is Romans 13 and 11, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
That's right. Now our salvation is nearer than when we believe, because the prophecy of the mark of the beast was written well over 2,000 years ago. Here it is, John the Revelator, in which they, the scholars call him John the Revelator. We know him as the Apostle John. Here it is, he prophesied of the mark of the beast well over 2,000 years ago on the island of Patmos. But what? We know our salvation is near when we believe, because that prophecy that was written back then is in your current events today. Brothers are well aware of that company out there in Wisconsin that's causing, the people, their employees to pretty much get that chip. And here it is, they're doing it free of charge. One thing about America is that they charge you for every goddamn thing. Right. They charge you to breathe air. So you gotta have it in your mind, when they're willing to give you something free, it can't be for your benefit. It gotta be for the elite's benefit.
Gotta be a catch too.
It gotta be a catch. Pray only see the bait, not the hook, man. So here it is, at the end of the day, when these people take that chip, ultimately they're gonna be held in derision. Here it is, they hand out flu shots for free. And we all know the destruction that them flu shots, have within them, and the destruction that fell upon certain people that took them. How much more this chip?
And you say held in derision. I just think it's a good time to bring it out in the definition in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. The definition of derision. All right, the use of ridicule or scorn to show contempt, a state of being laughed at or ridiculed, a state of being derided, an object of ridicule or scorn. You know? Yeah, because you know you think you figure you know what is it? You conform into the ways of Esau. You take this RFID microchip. You know you're going to be laughed at. You know, eventually the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai is going to have the last laugh. You know, but here it is. Here it is. You think that you have the knowledge. You know, that's why you take this RFID microchip because you feel that there's no other way. All right. And with a quick precept of Shai, Daniel 12:2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, you know, dust meaning confusion, you know, which Babylon means, you know, Babylon the Great, Babylon means confusion. All right. So, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt, you know? And that goes into you being in derision, you being laughed at, you know? Here it is, you talking to you 2/3, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you know, you woke up to the fact that you're an Israelite, you know, you come into some sort of depths of this knowledge, but what? Only so that you could be ashamed, you know, so that you could be laughed at, you know? You got General Yohanan saying that, you know, I'm going to take the mark of the beast. Why? Because I got to eat. You know what I mean? You're going to be brought into derision. We're going to end up laughing at you.
But what ultimately we're going to learn to love you in the kingdom.
Right.
But even in the kingdom, you're going to still feel like shit because you knew you were a part of the people who laughed at the prophets, you know, who scoffed and scorned at the prophets. So in the kingdom, you're going to even wake up feeling like shit, you know. But we of the true men of the Lord, you know, we of the hopeful elect, we understand. You know what I'm saying? It was all the will of the Lord, you know. But you're going to walk around in the kingdom with your head down.
You know? Yeah, got a quick precept. Is 1 Corinthians 1:27. But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
That's right.
And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
That's right, because Esau thought he was going to get away with enforcing his microchip. You know, here it is, this microchip been in the works for what, since the 1920s and 30s, if I'm not mistaken, going back to what, Albert Pike and things of that nature, you know, people of that nature, I should say. You know, so what, this chip been in the works for decades, you know, and these devils thought that they was going to get away with it because they're paralyzed in the secrecy, you know. But now the revelation has came out that the chip is the mark of the beast and that there's no good in it. Now these devils are scrambling. Now we're coming into a time of Revelation 12:12. So where these devils are going to come upon us with great wrath. But what the Lord used the foolish things to confound the mighty, you know, or to confound the wise, you know, and use those that are weak, which are the men of the Lord, to confound the mighty. By what? Denouncing them by way of his truth, you know.
Right, and we consider, you know, weak in the eyes of the people, like I mean, the brothers getting into it, but actually be mighty in the things that we bringing out according to the scriptures is mighty. You know what I'm saying? We hold the weight of the world in our hands, which is this Bible, man. The foundation of all things and the end of all things. And Howard Shah said, I'm the Alpha and the Omega, man, the beginning and the end. So everything that you need is right here, man. But the people look at us and look at the things that we bring out according to a prophecy as being weak, man. They confounded by that, man. That's why the Most High gonna laugh at you, because people out here thinking they so sharp, so smart, you know what I'm saying, with different philosophies, the technology and all this and the third. But all they had to do was deal with basic principles of the Bible, man. Basic essences of life, man, which the Lord clearly give us. You don't gotta get into all this extra shit, man. Like, and one thing like about school is that you go through school, you learn all these different you learn science, you learn social studies, you go all these different topics, biology, these different things. But at a certain point, it should be like, well, why do I got to take all these different courses if I don't plan on entering into this field? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you just learning all this knowledge that's going to be dead to you in a matter of years. But everything we learn of the scriptures is not dead now, so it's live, it's living, man. You know what I'm saying? So people going to these schools and all these different things, but it's not going nowhere, man. You know?
You're not applying what you learned in this university. You know, you apply what you learned in the scriptures, though, because this is the book of life.
And that's what this truth is all about. It's about knowledge, understanding, and the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You sharpen up, you know what I'm saying, in the scriptures to get your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? With that knowledge, you have to have understanding to be able to teach. And what you teaching, the Most High is going to test you on the things you teaching, and that helps you to develop that wisdom, man. Okay, but you having an understanding of the scriptures is application. You apply your understanding, man. You know what I'm saying? To obtain wisdom, to obtain more knowledge, man. You know, throughout this lifetime. Got that Proverbs, was it 1:24? Yeah.
Proverbs 1:24. Yeah. It's Proverbs 1:24. Because I have called and ye have refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof.
Right. So that's how it is. Like when we tell people, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be laughing in that day. People will be like, well, how could you laugh at people starving or babies is in the third? They deserve it. Yeah. They deserve it. Why? Because they set naught at the Lord's counsel, man. They didn't want to hear the Lord's men out there on the highways and byways telling them what it is week in and week out. But you rather trust in the so-called white man, and now you're going to be doomed to destruction for that, man. Sure. I'm saying? So fuck the people out there, man. You deserve that shit, man. We want to get the fuck up out of here. We starving for righteousness, man. You know? People out here starving for the wrong things, man. You know what I'm saying?
And it says here, because I have called, ye have refused. So it's not like you didn't hear the truth. Nobody can say when the Most High has it all set up perfectly so that when this judgment comes on you, you can't say that you didn't hear the truth. Yeah. All right. You know, it says, I have called and ye have refused. And how did the Lord call? You know, how did the Lord call you? Through his prophets. You know, the word is out there. The spirit, you know, the truth, the prophecies, they're all out there on YouTube. It's all accessible. You know, me personally, you got family members, things like this. You know, they ask you, what are you doing? What is this all about? And you want to tell them, and then you bring out the scriptures, and they don't want to hear it. They refuse it. Yeah. You know?
And it's like it. You got something? I mean, and that's because they was brought up in the scriptures in a different way. Yeah. You know, so they don't want to unlearn the things that they've learned. Right. You know, and that's spiritual too, because I was just watching a movie yesterday. I believe it's called She Hates Me. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it was a certain part of the movie where he said, it's bad not knowing something, but it's even worse in not wanting to know something. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people, here it is. The first initiative is that they don't know the name of the Lord. You know, they don't know the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shah. So now that when the words get brought to them, they reject it. You know, they call themselves denouncing it. You know, and now the opportunity was there for them to receive the word, but they chose not to receive the word because they already got an image of the Lord, or the image of the scriptures already in mind, to where they don't want to hear what we speaking of, you know, with our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. You know,
like how the brother was saying, like you have to be willing to unlearn something in order to learn. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? That how you want to gain real knowledge, man, by these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Everything, the ways of this world have taught us have been completely wrong, man. And we went about certain things in a decent manner because we naturally have these scriptures embedded in us. We are the Lord's chosen people, man. You know? But ultimately, when you look at it, like how the brother was getting into, is that at the end of the day, nobody's going to be able to say that they haven't came across this truth. Whether if it's you walk by a bus stop, you know what I'm saying, seeing the brothers out there on the highways and byways, whether you came across the video, how the brothers said on YouTube, brothers is on World Star, brothers is on different platforms. You know what I'm saying? Whether you might have just looked at it from the entertainment, or oh, them niggas wilding. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, everybody upon the face of the earth is going to say that they came across the truth, and if they didn't, at the end of the day, the Most High could pull up that track record like, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, nobody's going to be able to have no excuse at the end of the day, man. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Proverbs.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I pulled out of it. Proverbs 25 and
125.
All right, Proverbs 1:25. But ye have sought ye have set at naught at Salakia, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
Right. So if the Lord is laughing, we love whatever the Lord loves. So we're gonna be laughing as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Because how the scriptures say, rise up, you women are at ease, and especially for you goddamn woman, man. You think you're gonna be living it up off the so-called white man? You think you're gonna be getting so-called equal rights? You know what I'm saying? Thinking you're above the man. Every damn TV show I'll be watching, they be saying, man and women are equal. This and the third. I'm my own woman. I'm independent. Like, you bitches need to get slapped, man. The Lord gonna slap you bitches silly when that end time comes, man. You're gonna realize how much you need a man, man. All right? And then the niggas out here always on some bullshit as far as the woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, strong black woman, my black queen, and also other bullshit. That's why people don't understand, like, when Tommy Sotomayor and people like that getting on women, that's how you're supposed to get on. That's how we get on them, man. We gotta tell women what it is. This is how we tell the man what it is, man. That's the only way to get through to people. You can't try to pacify people because what? People just keep going with the motions when you do that. But when you actually check them, now they have the tools to know, okay, this is how I am. This is what I need to change about myself. If you don't do that, people ain't gonna get nowhere, man. So we gotta come out rough, rugged, and roll with these scriptures, man.
Because what truth does, truth nips it in the bud. You know, because a bud is a bud. Once you let a bud sprout, that's when it grows to be a bigger cancer or grows to be a bigger problem. You know what I'm saying? Let 11 nip the whole lump. So that's why it's best to, the truth nips everything in the bud, because truth is truth. You know, once truth remains supreme, no lies can filter. You know, your feelings and emotions can't filter. You know, if your feelings and emotions is not in line with the truth, guess what? You're gonna get checked, like the brother said. You're gonna get set straight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this truth does, because this truth is nipping the devil in the butt. You know, he's not going to be able to fulfill his new world order.
Hey, that just made me think, because you said, what you said about getting about the filter?
Filter, well, as far as nipping it in the bud.
Yeah, because you said it won't filter or something like that.
Yeah, because if you don't nip it in the bud, that's when it's going to cause that's when the issue flourishes, and it sprouts to be a bigger problem. You know.
Yeah, and that's like on another sense, like dealing with the body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep feeding the body a certain type of foods, and you're not listening to your doctor or physician or herbalist. That's going to keep spiraling out of control. You know what I'm saying? And you're not allowing it. You know what I'm saying? By cleansing your body, you're not allowing all the toxin stuff to filter out of your body, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's spread.
Exactly. And by the so-called white man indoctrinating our people, this is why people are going to be had in derision, man, because they love them so much. They love that indoctrination. They love to be stuck in the matrix, man. They don't want out. They don't want no better way, man. People stay crying all the goddamn time. Yeah, it's hard out here. Well, if it's so hard out here, dive into these scriptures, man.
Right.
This is our rest, man. Right now, us being woke to this truth, we spiritually free, man. But soon enough, we going to be physically free, man. You know?
And Vogue told you that back in, what, 87? Free your mind and the rest will follow. You know, how you free your mind? You free your mind by way of the scriptures, man. And that was women telling you that, man. You know? Telling you that. And in a sense, you know, like the brother said, people love this goddamn devil so goddamn much. Because even if you have an old lady, you know what I'm saying, you tell her to change your diet. You know, stop eating pork, stop eating this and that. You know what I'm saying, she don't want to hear you. But then it is this Edomite doctor, you know, tells her the same thing as far as you got to change your diet and things of that nature. Then she wants to change it because the white man said so. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of these people is going to be caught up and get caught out there when they take this chip, because here it is, we telling them through the Spirit of the Lord to not take the chip. But what? The white man, the so-called white man, these Edomites, is going to tell them to take it. They're going to take it. And then they're going to come to find out that it's not beneficial for them, but it's causing all of these ailments upon them. Their nervous system is all fucked up. You know, they're having cancerous symptoms. You know? So we coming into that time, man.
And you know, too, about the body and things, your diet and things like that. You know, you talk about things that are detrimental to your health, but ultimately, at first, it seems something that's pleasurable to you. It tastes good, it feels good eventually, at first, but eventually, ultimately, it deteriorates your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got a scripture. This is Isaiah 30 and 10, 30 and 9. That this is a rebellious people, my children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seers meaning the prophets, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So going into like a parable about foods, you get into the bitter herbs and things like that. Those things are good for you, but what? It's bitter to the taste. You know what I mean? But here it is. You got McDonald's, Taco Bell, fast food restaurants in general that they taste good. Eventually, immediately, they taste good. It's something smooth unto your body. But what ultimately it's deteriorating you. It's at the end it's just going to bring death and destruction.
How I said real quick. I said read that last part one more time.
Isaiah 30 and 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
And that's exactly how it is. They want to hear, like, that's why people like going to the churches and stuff like that. They like to be pacified, man. They don't want to hear the straight that from a positive body, the straight skinny, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear all that, man. That's why you deserve everything you're going to get. People like to say ignorance is bliss. No, you're fucking stupid if you want to stay in that ignorance, man. Ignorance ain't no bliss, man. It's not. It's not. So you think you can just continue to live however you want to live, and as long as you don't know about what's going to happen, it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect you that much more when the shit actually hits, man. You fucking dummies. Why wouldn't you want to know something, man?
Exactly.
And the scriptures tell you, I believe it's Proverbs 19 and 2, the soul that dwelleth without knowledge is not good, man. You're supposed to dwell with knowledge. Why wouldn't you want to dwell with the knowledge of the Heavenly Father, the knowledge of who you are, man? And to know the things that are coming into befall us, man. You deserve to be having that trick back, man.
That's just like we brought out earlier. He that don't know history is condemned to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. Those that didn't listen to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua before, those that, because here it is, during the time of the Greeks, when the Greeks was enforcing the pork upon the people, you know what I'm saying? That's modern day chip, man. And if you didn't eat pork in that time, and Eleazar, when you read Second Maccabees, I believe Second Maccabees, the 6th chapter, he showed great integrity. It got to the point to where they told him, like, look, you can eat lawful meat. Just tell the people that it's pork. He still didn't want to put a stain upon his name. You know what I'm saying? Because here it is, he was about 90 years old. He had a good name in Israel. He didn't want to tarnish that. So what he do? He took the death, man, like an honorable man. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we of the hope of elect is going to take the death the same way. If it be our lot through the spirit of the Lord.
Yeah, real quick, scripture real quick, when y'all can break it down. I want to get straight to the point. It's Sirach 12 and 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?
That's right. So what? We're not going to pity you for falling into the hands of this devil, because this devil, that's the charmer. He's going to dress up the mark of the beast with all of these benefits. You ain't got to worry about identity theft. You ain't got to worry about anybody stealing your money. You ain't got to worry about anybody stealing your information. Because all of your information and identity will be on this chip, which is embedded in your skin. It's implanted in you. Here it is. They're going to dress it up in the form of, if you're a paraplegic, now you'll be able to have limbs that are able to move. That's how this devil's going to dress it up. You're going to get discounts. You ain't got to worry about waiting in line. So here it is. If you consent unto this devil by him charming you and reeling you in, with that chip, we're not going to have any pity upon you, because why? The truth is out there. You should have known better. Like the old saying goes, if you knew better, you do better. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we fishing on the right hand side spiritually. Right. He's fishing on the left hand side, man. And you niggas is taking the bait, man. Every single day, niggas is taking the bait. If you ain't take the bait yet, slowly but surely you're gonna take it. Whether Esau throw a piece of bread out there to you, if you don't get the bread, he gonna pull it back. He gonna put a piece of cheese up on that motherfucker front, whatever it takes to get that fish. You gonna try to get them, man. Because there's certain fish that's out there that's made for the Lord, and certain fish for the devil, the so-called white man. You got the Lord's elect, and you got the 2/3. Those are the condemned to damnation, man, by thermonuclear destruction, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it goes back to that Isaiah 30:10. Speak unto us smooth things. You know, you want to be lied to.
Yeah.
You know, you desire that. You don't want to know the truth.
Yeah.
You know, quick scripture, Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. You know, so you want to be lied to. But what Esau has a trick bag, you know. He has a dagger behind his smooth words, you know, and that goes back into derision. You know, ultimately you're going to be mocked and laughed at.
Yep.
Why? Because, like we said, the truth is out there, but you refuse. You want to be prophesied smooth things. You want to be told smooth things. The Lord loves everybody. You know, Cornelius was an Edomite. Things like that. You know, you don't want to know the truth. And that's gonna lead to your destruction.
Hey man, but the funny fucking thing is the truth is staring them right in the fucking face, man.
Yeah.
Why would you trust this devil? 400 fucking years of slavery. Why would you trust this devil, man? They trying to take slavery out of the history books. Why would you trust this devil, man? Fucking 9/11. You can clearly see that's controlled demolition. There's no way a fucking plane can hit at that angle and the whole fucking building collapse, but you still trust this fucking devil, man.
Hey.
You niggas deserve this shit, man.
They're killing so-called Negroes and Latinos live on CNN. And you still want to trust this devil? You deserve death, man. Somebody give me Isaiah 32:9 about the shop.
Yeah.
And then matter of fact, you pull it, but you look up this definition. That's within it, churl.
Okay.
You know, so these devils, man, they're low lives, man. They're peasants. You know, they devise mischief.
Said 32.
Isaiah 32.
You know what?
What's 7 say?
Yeah, that's it. Isaiah 32:7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh of right.
And that's what we're doing. We the needy, and we're speaking of right. You know, but what is this devil doing? You know, he's lying to the people. He's not giving you the truth behind that RFID microchip. You know, because why? That RFID microchip is the foundation of his new world order and him having control and godlike power. You know, you got that definition?
Yep. This is
But get it in Google. If you put that hits heavy. Yeah.
Okay.
Good shot.
Hey, and when it says the instruments, it says what? His schemes, man.
That's right.
So that's his tools. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get you people, man?
Yeah. But if there's meat on the blue button, you can bring that out after.
After? Okay. Just say something real quick.
All right, real quick. This is Jeremiah 15:11. The Lord said, "Verily it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction." You know, so that's clear cut, man. When that time comes, this devil's gonna treat you nice, man. How did they do to our brothers in Native American Indians? They treated them nice, man. And they took the bait, you know what I'm saying, thinking that they were genuine people, because that's how Jake is, man. We're peaceful people, man. We don't want to see no harm come upon nobody, man. But at the end of the day, that's how this devil move, man. How they say he move with speak with a forked tongue, man. Can't trust nobody like that, man. You constantly have instances within the society where you can't trust devils. Look at them Jakes that was I think they went to go play some video games with some Edomite chicks or something like that. And wound up getting killed by some their boyfriends or some shit like that, or it was a setup or something like that, like a year or so ago. You know what I'm saying? Constantly different things is happening. Jake getting lynched out here. You know what I'm saying? A couple years ago and stuff like that, man. So I mean, it is what it is, man. People that continue to trust in the so-called white man, you're gonna get slaughtered off by the so-called white man. You're gonna deserve every bit of it, man. That's right.
So this is the definition of churl, an impolite and mean-spirited person.
Who's that talking about? That's Esau, man, the so-called white man. A mean-spirited and what?
An impolite and mean-spirited person.
He's impolite and mean-spirited person. That's the instruments of the churl. What's the instrument? The chip. The churl is Esau. Go ahead.
A miser.
Mm-hmm.
A person of low birth. A peasant.
He's a peasant. He's a person of low birth because how did he come out? Red and hairy like a garment, man. You know? He came out not looking normal. You know? He's low. He's vile. Even before the Rothschilds was named the Rothschilds, they was named the Bowers, you know, which means peasant. So that clearly fits Esau. You know? That's what we're talking about.
Then you look at Esau today, Esau before in the Dark Ages, but he was a peasant. He was a low base man in the Caucasus Mountains. So what did that's how you know that there's a power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know, he lifted up this devil, you know, to rule over us. Yeah. And the book scripture, Isaiah 5:15, and the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled.
There you go.
And the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. Mm-hmm. And Esau is lofty. He's all fucked up. You know why? Because he's ruling shit right now. You know, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. But what? The scriptures say that he's going to be humble.
That's right.
All right?
And that's going to be in the kingdom.
Yep.
And because why? The scripture say we're going to have to rule him with a rod of iron. So what? We're going to have to beat him into subjection. Even when you read Revelation, the 9th chapter, it speaks upon how he didn't repent of all his evil doings, his witchcraft. You know, so what? We're going to have to beat that humility into Esau in the kingdom. You know?
Right. Anything else?
Oh yeah, I want to finish this. I still want to finish something else. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 69. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. But they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
And that's the big time that we waiting for. So we know that these, as us being men of Yahweh Shai, we know and we're well aware and we're well equipped through the spirit of Yahweh Shai to deal with these things when that time comes, Lord willing. But you people out there, I'm saying, that's clinging on to Esau, man, you're in a world of trouble, man. You don't even know, man. You don't even know the half. You don't even know 1/4, man.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part, man. Because yo, just imagine, you know what I'm saying, when that time comes and they say a state of emergency or however, you know what I'm saying, and they shut everything down. Yeah. Curfews is set in the place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk past a certain block or some shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You can only get this amount of food.
Mm-hmm.
Check gonna go fuck. They ain't gonna know what the fuck to do, man. Yeah. But we prepare ourselves through the spirit to get into these scriptures, praying, fasting, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, because we know what we're headed for, man. Yeah. But people going to panic in that day, man. Not eating for a few hours, people going to panic in the day. Not having no baby milk for their food, people going to panic in that day, man.
Hey, and like Apostle Gabar said, knowing is half the battle. So that's just half of the battle. We know what's going on. That's only half of the battle. How much more to these people that don't have a clue what's going on? You're going to be taken by it. You know? But it says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is your God. And the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Right, and that's the only way you're gonna make it through these perilous times. You know, if that spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah is dwelling with you, man. So if you're in tune with these scriptures. Other than that, you're doomed, man. You know what I'm saying? And for us brothers that's out there, we gotta constantly know that, you know, in the spirit, you know, we're gonna constantly mess up here and there, but we keep pushing no matter what, man. I was grabbing Philippians 3 and 14 real quick. That's good. You know, and plus the scriptures say, you know, a just man fall 7 times and rise up again, because the elect is not going to stop, man. The elect is not going to be deterred from that mission. You know, the scriptures also say they will deceive the very elect if possible. So it's nothing that's in the elect's path that's going to stop them, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, man. You know, but the rest of you people out there, man, I don't feel sorry for you at all, man, because you constantly hear the word of the Lord. Family members going to get it even worse, man. They deserve it even worse, man. You know what I'm saying? Bring that up.
This is Philippians 3 and 14.
Yeah.
I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Mashiach Yahushua.
Right. You press towards that mark, man. Pressing towards it, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if anything ye be otherwise minded, the Most High shall reveal even this unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule, let us mind the same thing.
Right, so, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much said that we've already attained, because they went through the hell already. They went through the fire already, so now they know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And by faith, and by us having our faith within Yahweh Shem Shah, honestly, we've attained the kingdom. If all we got to do, because we have the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
We have the name of Yahweh Shem Shah. That's the keys to the kingdom. We have the knowledge, we have the wisdom to understand it. Therefore, spiritually, we have obtained the kingdom.
The kingdom of heaven is within you.
Exactly, it's within us. So spiritually, we have obtained the kingdom. Now it just keep pressing towards that mark, no matter what, man. That's all it is, man. I'm saying it's all a trial of our faith, and Lord willing, we are endured to the end. You know. Anybody else?
And you think about it on a lower level, like, you know, TV shows 227, Good Times. You know what I mean? Keeping my head above water. You know, that's how we know you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are gonna last well beyond these Edomites. You know, who've been spoon-fed, you know, or spoiled, rotten. You know, going without food, fasting, being broke. That's just a regular Tuesday for Jake. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing. I've been broke many times before. I've been broke before I came into the truth. I fasted long before I came into this knowledge, man. You know, we all have. You know, so we're gonna be prepared for this, you know. But you other Edomites, you know, you're gonna be caught. You know, you got bankers, bankers that been making, you know, all types of figures of money. All of a sudden they lose their job and they throw their ass out the window, out of a 20-story window to the death. You know what I mean? They're not ready. They're not ready for the coming calamities that are coming. But Jake, even though a lot of two-thirds of our people are going to get cut off and destroyed, but you know, what's that in comparison to all you other heathen nations that haven't even seen tribulation, you know, within the last 500 years?
Right.
You know.
It's Psalms 125 and 3. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous.
That's right. The rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous. What's that shit? Go ahead. Because the righteous is the Israelites. We were created to be righteous. Go ahead.
Lest the righteous put forth their hands into iniquity.
That's right. Unless the righteous, which is 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you know, put forth their hand into iniquity. Because why? Like the scripture saying in Revelation 13 and 16, he should set a mark upon thy right hand or their forehead. So here it is, if you put your hand into iniquity, was that chip, then you're going to fall upon a lot of the wicked, which is receiving that thermonuclear destruction. Because that's the judgment pursuant to Revelation 14:9 and 10, if you do take that chip. What else?
We got one last precept. It's Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet felt for our vain help, In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. So that's the Lord directly talking to you Israelites, man. You keep watching, you keep looking at the news. I'll be seeing people on the different social medias and even family members, oh yeah, Trump dude just got fired or whatever. Right. Yes, and people all have, but you watching, you constantly watching. You think you watchmen, not knowing that we the real watchmen. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you think you watchmen. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know that your eyes are felling for that banging help, and you watching for nobody to save you, man. Nobody within the society, nobody in this world is going to save you except Yahweh Shemi Yahushua. Yahweh Shemi Yahushua wants that glory, man. And no man on earth is going to take it from them, man.
And why are you looking for safety from the person whose intention is to destroy you?
You're getting your news source from MSNBC, mainstream media, which is owned by this devil.
By the elites, yeah.
You know, the elites. You know, this devil doesn't show you anything through the media that he doesn't want you to see.
Exactly.
You know, it's all controlled.
Sure. You had Martin Luther King. You had Garvey. What's the other nigga? Malcolm X, the Farrakhan sellout nigga. You had times of Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? It was flourishing. All of these different people. Why still didn't we come about our situation? Because it's not the Heavenly Father's will for a man to get us up out of this situation. His son Yahushua has to get up out of this situation. So until you look up into the heavens and realize where your power is, you're doomed for destruction, man. You know? So any last points?
This is Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, and the wicked is a so-called white man. You know what I mean? This devil isn't gonna deliver you out of your situation. All right? But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And brother just mentioned it. Delivered by who? The only person the only entity, the only power you're going to be delivered by is Yahweh Shemi Yahushua. No one else. Nothing else. All right? That's it.
Yeah, so, you know, with that, you know what I'm saying, people out there, you're going to be had in derision if you don't wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? And if your brothers out there, stay strong. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom is no longer around the corner, is right in front of us, man. Just keep knocking on the Lord's door, man. Lord willing, He open it up to us and having the gates, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you know, while we hope the segment was edifying, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the ones, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek out there, doing His work of faith and living with love and true sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.